The scene opens in a modern engineering office, bustling with activity. David stands at the head of a meeting table, leading a discussion with his engineering team. The camera pans across the room, showing David's team working diligently at their stations, his leadership guiding them through complex projects. He's seen explaining key technical details to junior engineers, offering feedback and advice with patience. The camera captures his interactions with clients over the phone, reassuring them and delivering solutions with confidence. As David oversees the projects, there's a palpable sense of respect from his team, who look to him for direction. David's hands move expertly over blueprints and project specs, showing the precision and care with which he approaches every aspect of his work. The camera focuses on his face, reflecting a quiet determination and pride. He's clearly an integral part of the company's operations after 18 years of hard work. His experience and dedication are evident. His team thrives under his leadership, and clients trust his judgment. The atmosphere in the office is positive and productive, as a direct result of David's efforts. Despite the outward success, there's a subtle shift in the air. The camera shows David's expression flickering with concern as he overhears his boss discussing budget cuts with senior management. The boss's tone is sharp, focused solely on reducing costs. David's face betrays a flicker of doubt as he realizes that the same leadership and expertise that have driven the company's success may soon be questioned. David returns to his office, looking over performance reports and budget documents, a small frown forming as he sees the increasing pressure to reduce overhead. The tension in the room, which was once filled with collaboration and trust, now feels strained. Despite his pride in his accomplishments, there's a nagging feeling that something is beginning to change. David is no longer just leading projects. He's beginning to sense that the company's focus is shifting, and the stability he's enjoyed for years may soon be at risk. The scene begins with David walking into his boss's office, expecting a routine discussion about ongoing projects, as he's done countless times before. However, the usual friendly atmosphere is absent. The office feels colder, and the air is thick with tension. The boss is sitting behind the desk, papers neatly stacked, but the usual pleasantries are missing. The camera captures David's surprised expression as he sits down, sensing that something isn't right. He can't shake the uneasy feeling that something is off, but he still expects to talk about the projects they've been working on. The boss speaks first, their tone clipped and professional, but lacking warmth. "David, I'm sorry, but we've made the decision to let you go. We're letting you go due to costs. You're just too expensive for the company right now." The words hit David like a punch to the gut. Camera focuses on his face as his shock registers. His mind races. Too expensive. He can hardly process what's being said. He's been with the company for 18 years. He's a loyal and hardworking employee who has played a key role in the company's success. How could he be let go for something as impersonal as cost? The boss continues, citing vague justifications about cutting costs and restructuring, but offers no concrete explanation as to why David, a crucial part of the company, has become expendable. David's heart sinks as the words sink in. The realization that his years of experience and dedication mean nothing in the face of financial calculations becomes unbearable. The camera lingers on David's face, his expression a mix of disbelief and betrayal. He feels blindsided, unable to process how a company that once valued his contributions could discard him so easily. David's mind races as the boss continues speaking, but he's barely hearing the words anymore. The sense of betrayal is overwhelming. After 18 years of dedication, the only reason given for his firing is his salary. The injustice of it all stings deep. His years of service, the late nights, the complex projects, and the clients he helped secure all seem irrelevant now. The firing isn't about his performance, it's about the bottom line. The emotional toll of being reduced to a financial figure leaves David speechless. Feeling abandoned and replaced, the scene opens with David sitting at his kitchen table, a pile of performance reports, financial documents, and email threads scattered around him. The soft glow of a desk lamp illuminates his focused expression as he digs through the documents, his fingers flipping through pages. His brow furrows as he pores over the details, trying to make sense of the abrupt firing. The camera zooms in on his face, capturing the frustration building in his eyes as he starts to piece things together. David opens emails from upper management and internal memos that mention budget cuts and cost-saving measures. As he scrolls through these communications, his expression hardens. The camera shows him reading a memo that explicitly states the company's plan to reduce overhead by targeting senior employees with higher salaries, employees like him. He pauses. For a moment, the weight of the realization sinking in. The documents clearly show that his firing had nothing to do with performance, but everything to do with financial pressures. The company is cutting costs, and David's salary, after 18 years of loyal service, has been deemed too expensive. The camera shifts to David's face as he leans back in his chair, a deep frustration washing over him. The fire of injustice burns brighter with each document he uncovers. He's been part of the company's success for nearly 2 decades, leading complex projects, mentoring younger engineers, securing high-profile clients, yet he was tossed aside like a number on a spreadsheet. The realization that his years of dedication were replaced by a cold financial decision is almost too much to bear. The camera follows David's hand as he highlights key phrases in the documents, each line a stark reminder that the decision to let him go wasn't about his performance or worth to the company. It was a financial calculation. The boss had targeted him and others like him, not because they weren't valuable, because they were seen as a financial burden. David's frustration grows as he pieces it all together. The more he uncovers, the more the anger boils inside him. The company had been prioritizing its bottom line over people, over loyalty, over experience, over the people who had given so much to its growth. It's clear now he wasn't fired for underperforming. He was discarded to save money. The scene begins with David sitting at home, reviewing job offers and planning his next steps. His phone rings. It's the boss. The camera captures David's calm expression as he picks up the call, his fingers resting lightly on the desk. The boss's voice comes through the phone, hurried and apologetic. "David, I made a mistake. I didn't mean for things to escalate like this. I was under pressure and I didn't think it through." The desperation in the boss's voice is palpable, but David remains composed, not responding immediately. The camera shifts to David's face, showing a quiet but firm resolve. As the boss continues, promising a higher salary, more perks, better conditions. If David returns, the desperation in his tone becomes more obvious. The boss even offers to reverse the firing, suggesting a new, lucrative position within the company. David listens patiently, but there's no excitement or urgency in his eyes. The camera focuses on his hands as they rest calmly on the desk. A stark contrast to the boss's frantic, pleading words. The boss goes on, repeating promises of a new role, a larger team to lead, and more decision-making power. This is an opportunity to come back and make an even bigger impact. "David, we were wrong, and I want to fix this," the boss says. The camera lingers on David's face, showing no hint of doubt or hesitation. He's heard it all before, where it's meant to smooth over the damage. It's promises made out of fear and regret. David takes a deep breath, finally speaking. "I appreciate your offer, but I've moved on. This wasn't just about salary, and no amount of money can erase the way I was treated. I've already found a better opportunity for myself." The camera zooms in on David's calm yet resolute expression as he finishes. "I won't be coming back." The boss stammers, trying to convince him one last time, but David's decision is firm. As David ends the call, the camera lingers on his face, a mix of quiet triumph and finality. The phone call marks the moment David realizes that his worth is not tied to the company or the boss's fleeting promises. He has taken control of his own future and no longer needs to depend on a company that failed to see his true value. The scene opens with David at his kitchen table, surrounded by notepads. His laptop open in front of him, and a coffee mug by his side. The camera focuses on his focused expression as he writes down ideas, mapping out the next steps for his career. Each page of his notebook is filled with ideas, potential business strategies, and goals he's determined to achieve. There's a sense of purpose in his movements as he refines his plans, adjusting and improving them with each passing minute. The camera shifts too. David attending an industry event, networking with former colleagues and potential clients. The conversations are energetic and full of possibility. David stands confidently, exchanging business cards, discussing new projects, and offering his expertise. His face reflects a newfound clarity, a determination to rebuild something bigger and more meaningful than what he left behind. His reputation precedes him. People respect his knowledge and leadership, and they are eager to collaborate with him on new ventures. The camera also shows David making phone calls and sending emails. 2 clients he's worked with in the past. He reconnects with them, offering services that cater to their current needs, positioning himself as an expert in his field. He starts receiving positive responses. New projects begin to take shape, and opportunities for collaboration arise. There's a noticeable spark in his eyes, the sense that he is in control of his future. David's journey of rebuilding isn't easy, but it's one of growth. The camera shows him taking part in brainstorming sessions with potential partners, presenting new ideas with the same passion and drive that he once had for the company. His ability to pivot and adapt is evident. David doesn't look back. Instead, he focuses on the road ahead, fully determined to carve out his own path. With each meeting, each connection, and each decision, he moves closer to achieving his vision. The resilience he's shown is palpable. He's not just rebuilding his career, he's creating a new future for himself. The scene opens with David, standing in a modern office, holding a pen as he prepares to sign a new contract. The camera zooms in on his hand as he signs the dotted line, a symbol of the new path he is about to take. There's a moment of stillness before the camera pulls back to show him shaking hands with his new business partner or client. The handshake is firm and confident, signaling a fresh start. The camera then transitions to David confidently leading a meeting with a new team, presenting ideas and making decisions. His posture is strong, and there's a noticeable shift in his energy. He's in control of his destiny. The visuals show David at a new office, perhaps one of his own, or in a new corporate environment, but the sense of ownership and authority is clear. He walks through the office space, discussing plans and strategies with his new colleagues or clients. His demeanor is different, now empowered, confident, and filled with a sense of purpose. The camera captures him in action, seamlessly taking charge and setting new goals, creating the future he envisions for himself. As David leads meetings and drives new initiatives, there's a deep sense of fulfillment in his actions. He is no longer working within the constraints of a company that undervalued him. Instead, he's building something that aligns with his vision and expertise. The work he's doing now has a personal meaning. The respect he earns is based on his true contributions and leadership. It's not dictated by someone else's agenda. David is seen signing additional contracts, his business relationships growing, and new opportunities unfolding. The camera highlights the satisfaction on his face. He's moving forward, empowered by the knowledge that he is finally working on his own terms. His new venture, or role, is more fulfilling than he ever imagined. He's found success, not because of the company that let him go, but because of his own determination and ability to carve out a better future for himself. The scene begins with David sitting at his desk in his new office. The camera captures him in a moment of quiet contemplation as he stares at his computer screen. His fingers hover over the keyboard, and the sound of the keys clicking breaks the silence. David types a message, a simple but respectful note to his former boss. The camera zooms in on the screen as he writes, slowly and thoughtfully, "Dear boss's name. I wanted to take a moment to thank you for the opportunities I've had over the years. Working with the team and contributing to the company's success has been an incredible journey. However, after much thought, I've decided to move on to new ventures. I appreciate everything I've learned, but I feel the time has come for me to explore other opportunities. I wish you and the company the best in the future. Sincerely, David." The camera shows David pausing for a moment after typing, his fingers still on the keys. His face reflects a mix of calm, certainty, and relief. There's no anger or bitterness, just a quiet sense of closure. He clicks send with purpose, and the camera lingers on the screen as the email is sent. David sits back in his chair, taking a deep breath as the weight of the past lifts from his shoulders. The phone rings. It's the boss again, desperate, pleading for David to return, promising that they've realized their mistake. The camera shows David looking at the phone, then back at his desk. The boss's voice is filled with urgency, but David remains calm and unflinching. He lets the call go to voicemail, knowing that his decision is final. David picks up his coffee cup, takes a sip, and looks out the window with a sense of peace. He's made his choice, and he knows it's the right one. The camera captures him standing up and walking away from his desk, leaving the phone behind. His decision has been made. He's not turning back. The scene opens with David walking out of his old office building, the camera tracking his movements as he steps onto the sidewalk, leaving the past behind. His pace is steady and purposeful, his expression focused but calm. The camera captures the surroundings, a busy city street, bustling with life, symbolizing the endless possibilities ahead. David walks with his head held high, fully aware that he's in control of his own future, as the camera follows him. It transitions to David walking into a new office, different from the one he left behind. This office is bright, modern, and filled with fresh energy. The camera shows David as he enters, greeting new colleagues with a handshake and a confident smile. His demeanor is one of optimism and determination. The space is vibrant, filled with potential, and David's presence adds to the dynamic. He's not just stepping into a new job, he's stepping into his own vision, one that aligns with his values and goals. The camera captures David sitting at his new desk. Looking around the office with a sense of fulfillment, he reviews his calendar, filled with meetings and new opportunities. Each document he touches represents a new chapter in his career, and the sense of satisfaction is clear. He's no longer bound by the limitations of the past. He's embracing a future he's crafted for himself. David looks out the window of his new office, taking in the view with a quiet smile. The camera focuses on his face, showing the contentment and confidence in his eyes. He knows he has learned valuable lessons from his past experiences, lessons about his own worth, resilience, and ability to create his own path. The future holds endless opportunities, and David is ready to take them on with the same determination and strength that brought him here. The scene begins with David sitting on a park bench or standing at a window, looking out over the cityscape. The camera captures the vastness of the view, symbolizing the endless opportunities ahead of him. His gaze is distant, but there's a peaceful and contemplative expression on his face. The hustle and bustle of the city below mirror the busy thoughts running through his mind. The camera slowly zooms in on his face, showing the introspective moment where David is reflecting on everything he's gone through. As the camera lingers on David, flashbacks of his journey play across the screen. We see moments of frustration like the firing, mixed with moments of triumph, his leadership in the office. The small victories as he began rebuilding his career, and the moments of clarity when he chose to move on. The contrast between these moments shows how much David has grown. His expressions shift from confusion and hurt to pride and confidence. The camera then shows him looking at a photo of his former office or a memento from his past career. But instead of bitterness, his face reflects understanding. He's come to realize that his value is not defined by his old job or the company that let him go. His worth is intrinsic, shaped by his talents, his resilience, and his ability to adapt. The camera focuses on his face as he nods to himself in quiet affirmation, the weight of the past finally lifting as David continues to reflect. He thinks about how this painful experience became the catalyst for his personal growth. Taught him not to depend on external validation, not to let a company or a boss define his worth. He has learned to trust his instincts and abilities to build his future on his own terms. The camera pulls back as David stands up and walks away from the window, ready to face whatever comes next with renewed strength and self-assurance. The scene opens with David standing in the center of a bright, spacious new office space he's built from the ground up. The camera captures the details: a clean desk, a few personal touches, and a window overlooking the city below. David stands tall, a subtle smile on his face, as he takes in the view. The horizon is vast, symbolizing endless possibilities. The camera slowly pulls back to show David's entire figure, his stance, confident, grounded, and unburdened. He's arrived at a place of true fulfillment. David walks over to the window, looking out at the city skyline. The sunlight casts a warm glow on his face, and there's a quiet sense of peace and accomplishment. The camera lingers on his face, reflecting a deep sense of pride. This is more than just a physical space. It's a symbol of his journey, his determination, his growth, and his refusal to be defined by the company that once fired him. The building below him, the city around him, all represent the limitless opportunities he now has at his fingertips. As he looks out, David thinks about the journey that brought him here. The struggles, the challenges, and the betrayal have all shaped him into someone who is now fully in control of his future. The camera shows flashbacks of his earlier struggles, firing the painful realization of being discarded for financial reasons and the effort it took to rebuild his career. Each moment has led him to this powerful moment of self-empowerment. David takes a deep breath and stands straighter. He's feeling the weight of the past lift off his shoulders. He now sees that his worth was never tied to a job or salary, but to his own abilities, leadership, and vision. He knows that the best is yet to come, and the future holds even greater accomplishments. He's ready to conquer whatever challenges lie ahead, knowing that his success is built on his own terms.